guys and girls, we are here in Riga, Latvia for the 2020 Driftmasters King of Riga. Now we're at BERTANS circuit and it's one of my absolute favourites of the calendar. Do you know why? Because you never know what's going to happen next. Last year we saw a Russian champion be taken out by the British underdog Martin Richards. Now this year we've got new drivers, we've got new cars. There's 45 drivers looking to get into that top 32 spot. I'm going to catch up with a couple of them to see what they've been up to during the lockdown.
First up on my list is James Deane, our defending champion from last year. In 2019 at Mondello Park, although James managed to secure the win, the E92 Eurofighter was involved in quite a significant crash. I caught up with him to see what it has taken to get the car back ready for Riga this year.
James, although you took home the championship last year, it didn't quite end how you wanted it to at Mondello, did it?
Yeah, it wasn't easy last round. Last year was a lot of different, challenges throughout the year because we built a new car, but we managed to come out on top of DEANE, which was brilliant. But my very last battle and the last time I drove this car last year ended in a big crash. So it was raining heavily in Mondello Park, and I was doing my lead run in top 8, I think, and initiated. The car aquaplaned on standing water and smashed straight into the wall, so we actually wrecked a lot of the car. It's been a busy off-season.
I'm just going to find NIKOLASS BERTANS. So this guy is 15 years old. He's been driving professionally since he was 10, and he's now going to be competing in his first event with Driftmasters. At least he's a local, so he knows BERTANS circuit, but it's going to be a big step up for him. I'm going to go see how he's feeling ahead of his first qualifying session. So, it's your first event with Driftmasters. What are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting a really fun race with close tandems. So right now we're gonna go for qualifying and see how it goes, or we step up with who's gonna be my opponent.
You're not nervous at all, even though you're going up against drivers that have probably got more experience than you've been alive?
Well, of course I am nervous. It's technically my home track, but I haven't driven it quite a lot, maybe about 20 laps, and in today's trainings also, but I'm feeling quite confident, and yeah.
One of the great things about Driftmasters is it attracts all the best drivers from all over Europe, and this year is no different. We've got a 2-car new team, which is the brothers from Sweden, LINUS and Victor JOENSUU. Now they've got 2 HGK Eurofighters with S54 engines in them, so they should be serious on the track. It's their first time in Driftmasters, first time they've lined up against this caliber of driver, and I'm wondering what they're thinking. First of all, guys, it's great to have you here. 2 new drivers, it's always good to see new talent on the grid.
Thank you.
But it's your first time at Driftmasters. How are you feeling ahead of the competition?
Excited. Wow. I mean, the track is just amazing. The level of drivers, the level of cars. I mean, we've been having a great time so far on the practices. Did you find your practice good?
Yeah, I find it really good. I find the track on the practice really good.
Yeah, and you've got 2, well, new-ish, so they've been debuted in Sweden, but for us here at Driftmasters, it's the first time we've seen these. And 2 HGK E92 Eurofighters, S54 engines, serious machines.
Really serious. We come here and we want to show that we're here to stay and just make a statement.
So we just wrapped up practice. It's feeling really good. Back in the Eurofighter this weekend, and the car is definitely feeling the best it's felt so far in competition. We made a lot of changes to the car over the off-season, and so far it's paying off. Feeling really comfortable in the car. It's working really nice, and we got some nice practice runs in, so I'm just really excited to go out there and qualifying. We got 1 lap to go on P1, so hopefully it comes out all right. We'll be going for our best and see how we get on, but overall it's doing really good, so fingers crossed.
The guys have got their helmets on, they've got their suits on, and they're ready and raring to go. It's now time for the qualifying session. They need to get themselves into that top 32 spot in order to go on to the battles. Let's see how they get on.
Fanned into the cockpit of James Deane's E92 Eurofighter. This is the guy everybody's watching. In fact, next on the line, it's a man who is renowned across the world for being one of the craziest drivers. He is finishing up second in the US Championship last year. It's Peter JOENSUU from Poland. This is the guy everybody's keeping an eye on all weekend of how is he going to gel with this circuit. Well, the questions have been answered now because he is absolutely nailing it. That is how you get the job done in the first run of qualifying. Incredible run from Peter JOENSUU.
I'm down in the paddock with Peter JOENSUU, and he's just managed to get the top spot in qualifying with a 94 run. Now, this track is unforgiving, and it's one that he's driven before, but he hasn't actually driven in Europe since last year, and he's brought his car over, which he used in FD in 2017 and 2018. So it's been a long while since he's been out in it. Peter, how does it feel to finally drive here in Europe?
Oh, it's definitely exciting. You know, it's always exciting driving here, especially on this track, which is amazing. For me, it's the first time in this car, as you said, as mentioned. So it was quite a demanding challenge. I have to be really precise, a bit more than I was used to on this track, because this car has a lot more grip than my previous one. So we'll see tomorrow if it's going to be beneficial, but fingers crossed. For now, it feels really fantastic.
The guys have got just this one event this year to prove themselves out on track. Now, for some people who have been out of the seat for a while, it was just too much, and we had a few people really struggling in qualifying. Victor and Linus ended up getting themselves into the top 32, but it took them till their second qualifying session to get in there. Scary stuff if you come all this way and you're faced with the realization that you might not even make it into the field. For me, the highlight was NIKOLASS. To see this 15-year-old take on BERTANS circuit the way he did and came in 7th with such a solid run was amazing to see, and lots of the other drivers are nodding their head at the young talent coming through. So for tonight, the guys are going to be getting their cars ready, making sure that their mind is in the zone, and tomorrow we're going to see it all go down and see who's going to be crowned the King of Riga.
It's competition day, and everyone's qualifying position has determined who they'll be battling in top 32. Everyone is hungry to take the title of King of Riga this weekend. But first of all, some much needed tandem practice, as some drivers have been out of the seat for a long while. I caught up with SHANAHAN to find out what he's been up to in the off-season and how he felt after taking the number 3 spot in qualifying.
Jack, I absolutely love the new livery for this year. Pink tiger print. It's a bit of me, this is.
What actually happened last year is that the print kind of faded when we were getting it ready to get wrapped, and we just kind of had to rock with it because it was kind of last minute, and then everyone kind of loved the kind of pink tinge, so we were like, look, we'll change it a little bit this year and actually go full on pink. So like now I've got like neon pink helmet, pink on my suit, pink car, so I don't know, I think it's funny, like, you know, like the big manly head and then Barbie car, but no, it looks good and I'm very happy with it. So I think it's probably one of the best looking GT86s here this weekend. So
100%, and GT86 seems to be a model which is getting very popular. I think there's 5 or 6 of them around the pits.
Yeah, to be fair, like I think the first year, like that we like obviously last year we brought it here, there wasn't that many, and we actually got quite a good bit of development last year, and like we finished second in the championship first year with the car. So I think a lot of people were probably saying like that the car actually must have a good potential. So I'm very happy with it, and it's cool to see a lot of them, like, you know, it's a modern car, like it's cool to see the sport like evolving to newer chassis, like, you know.
Now, qualifying, first last year, you got 3rd this year, you're up there on the top 3 with Peter JOENSUU and James Deane.
Yeah. Yeah, like obviously, like it would have been nice to qualify first again, but like when it's those two ahead of you, you know what I mean, you're still at the top really, aren't you? So it's still a first place to me, like those guys are next level, so if you can take those down, you're doing something special that weekend, you know. So, and to be honest, I didn't feel 100% comfortable yesterday, so to even get that result, I was super happy with that.
So I'm just going to sit down and watch some of the practice now. Like these guys, some of them haven't actually sat in the seat and done tandem for nearly a year. So it's great to see them back out on track and really throwing it down. This track always allows for mental tandems because everyone is going so fast and your reactions have to be so quick. I have to admit, out of the whole calendar, it's probably my favourite track, just for the pure excitement of it.
Yeah, so drama of course here. I just never seem to get a break with this car. Went out for a first practice lap this morning, changed the setup again. Ashley was quite happy. Then I went to do a chase run and I felt the car didn't feel right. But to be honest, I actually thought it was just myself. And then when the team jacked up the back of the car to check my gear ratio, they found that the subframe was cracked. So thanks to some of the other team members, they had a welder. They're going to try to get it welded up and fingers crossed it will last the event. Yeah, it's just really annoying. I can't seem to concentrate on driving for a long time, so it's quite frustrating, but that's the joys of the sport. When we hopefully when everything comes together we can have a good result, fingers crossed.
Okay guys, so we're just in the middle of tandem practice. It's actually going really good for us so far. It's the first time we've had this car in tandem this year, so after all the changes we made, it's our first chance to see how it is against the competitors, and to be honest, I'm really happy with the changes we made. The car is definitely faster than last year, more predictable. We're just making a few changes to the gear ratio now, making it a little bit shorter to chase the other opponents. But in general, very, very happy. So we got a couple more practice laps left, and then we're going straight into the top 32 tandem battles. So that's where all the hard work, counts, and we're going to be giving it our best shot.
The guys are all lined up. The atmosphere is completely electric. Everyone's been waiting for this for so long, and the excitement is literally in the air. Now we've got some battles coming up that I'm really excited to see because there's some great pairings. I'm going to go find a good spot to watch and find out what happens.
Here we go into this first corner. JOENSUU, look at this, very aggressive from JOENSUU, and a wild, a little bit of a straight.
Oh, he's very wide, he's on the grass. Oh, he's in the wall.
Big hit from JOENSUU. We talked about it. We were skirting very close to the edge with these battles, and that's a big hit from JOENSUU.
We're really seeing the action heat up here. The wall is taking no prisoners. Unfortunately, LINUS is out. He borrowed a car this weekend and it just didn't come together for him. He ended up getting sucked into the wall twice. And then also, JOENSUU, a brand new S15, new car for this season, and the wall has claimed it. I hope the damage isn't too bad because I know that feeling of a brand new body kit being crunched. Ouch!
Zacharyl on that very nice line for a good initiation, fires that car in, and Dean is right there. Dean's right there, fire from underneath Zacharyl's car, and the engine starts to erupt, and Zacharyl tries to stay in it. Dean spins, there must be oil on the track.
The car is on fire, Zacharyl's out of the car.
As you can see behind me, there has been a huge effort to clean up the track. In the battle between Marko Zacharyl and James Deane, unfortunately, he suffered a huge engine failure, and the oil that it released set on fire. Unfortunately, Marko is out and his car is not looking good. James is back in. We have so much more to come yet. We also have the one more time between Kristaps Bluch and Peter WIECEK. They were really, really pushing each other hard, but the judges thought it was due for one more time. We'll see how this one turns out.
Oh, so important. Here we go. It's for a spot in the semi-final. It all comes down to this one. Can WIECEK stick it to Bluch's door? Here we go.
Through the gears they go. Big handbrake drag from Bluch, and that allows Peter WIECEK to get on the door. No messing around this time. WIECEK stays with him. Wow! Brave transition from Peter WIECEK. He's glued to the side of him, and he's into the wall, and contact on both cars.
Bluch threw everything at that corner. WIECEK threw everything at that corner, and you could see that Eurofighter ricochet off the tyre veils and slam into the door of Peter WIECEK's car.
Now here's a situation that I couldn't have predicted. In the top 4 now we have Adam Zalewski versus Peter WIECEK, and we have James Deane versus Jack Shanahan. So you've got 2 neighbours from Ireland and you have 2 native Polish guys as well. Now this is going to be incredible because I've never seen these 2 guys go up against each other before. So we're waiting for Adam and Peter to come down. Who knows?
Zalewski for a spot in the final. Who's going to take it? Look at this, side by side, no messing around. And WIECEK waits for the initiation of Zalewski. Zalewski sticks it out.
This is dangerous from WIECEK. He's very close here to making contact. How does he get away with it on the transition? He's going to get trapped. Oh, how does he get away with it, WIECEK? I've never seen anything like that transition in my life. That was absolute insanity.
So we just saw Peter WIECEK take out Adam Zalewski and James Deane take out his neighbour Jack Shanahan. Now what this means, guys, is you've got 2 titans of the sport. You've got a 3-time FD champion and also a multiple Polish champion and also teammates in the US. This is going to be a huge, huge battle. They know each other's driving style, they know each other very well, and they know that they are not going to stop. This is going to be a huge battle. I can't wait to see it.
Last run of the day, Deane through the chicane. Look at WIECEK. He's door to door, side by side into the first corner. Look at the transition from Peter WIECEK. How did he get away with it? Where's WIECEK? Is he in the tyres? Is he back? He's back. I don't know where he went there, and he's still in the battle.
James Deane on the wall and across the line, takes the tail light out of the back of that Eurofighter. Unbelievable scenes right here in Latvia.
And the 2020 King of Riga is... It's James Deane! James Deane is your 2020 King of Riga and the winner!
James, how does it feel to be the King of Riga?
It feels absolutely incredible. You know, it's been a difficult year to get to this point, and everyone that came this weekend made a huge, huge effort to be here. For me personally, we've worked in the car a lot, made a lot of changes. We had Europe's top drivers here, including Peter WIECEK, the Shanahans, and all the Eastern European guys, and everybody. It's only 1 round this weekend, so everybody was taking risks. That's why there was so much drama on track. People pushing super hard. So I think, to be honest, it just all started to come together for us after our top 8 battle when we had the fire here. And then up against Peter WIECEK in the final. I knew this was going to be crazy because he was driving amazingly all weekend. And I took some chances. They paid off, and yeah, we managed to win it. So it feels unbelievable. I'm just super happy, super proud of everyone that supports me, between the team, fans, so everyone. It's just been a crazy journey to get here, and I'm going to be smiling for a while after this.
Well, there's not much more to say to that. The sun is setting on this amazing event. All I can say is that I just cannot wait for next year, because if it's anything like this, you're not going to want to miss it.